Right and wrong are abstract concepts. They don't exist. A common argument that creationists try to make is that if evolution is true, how do you tell right from wrong? This is an argument that Ken Hovind likes to use. I'm not really sure where he's going with this, because evolution has nothing to say on morality or ethics. It's a completely irrelevant argument to make. But I think he's trying to say that this is proof that God exists. After all, how do we tell right from wrong? Because God tells us what's right and wrong, right? No, God doesn't exist. But from his point of view, that's how we know. That's how we know right from wrong. But I'm here to tell you that there is actually no such thing as right or wrong. They're abstract concepts that we create in our own minds. It's not tangible, and there is no universal laws that tells us what is right, what is wrong. After all, let's say killing a human. Is killing a human wrong? No, it's not. There is no universal law that states killing another human being is wrong. Whenever you are trying to decide right from wrong, you are making a subjective call on the situation. When we look at this or we look at that and we're trying to decide whether this is right or wrong, we are creating this judgment call in our minds. That's the only place it exists. It does not exist on paper. It does not exist in the stars or in the heavens or anything else. You have to excuse my voice. I'm recovering from a cold, and God did not give that cold to me. But anyway, so how do we decide right from wrong? Where do we get this concept from? Well, we get it simply from how we want to be treated, and we come to a consensus on these opinions. Now, it's easy to come to a consensus on certain things. Like I said, things that how we want to be treated are concepts that are easy to agree upon. Like, I don't want to be killed, I don't want my stuff to be stolen, and I don't want to be beaten up. So therefore, we say not doing these things is good, and when you do these things, that's bad. That's how we decide right from wrong in those situations. We apply them to ourselves, these situations to ourselves, and we make a judgment call on them. Since I don't want to be treated this way, then I have no right to do this to anyone else. And that's how we decide. Now, there are lots of situations where we can't apply this logic to ourselves directly. Like, for example, abortion or stem cell research or things like that. And then it's harder to come to a consensus on it because we can't apply those situations to ourselves directly, but we still have an opinion on it. So we debate, we discuss these things, and eventually we might come to some kind of consensus on it, but not everyone will agree. Murder, rape, stealing, those are easy to agree upon, right? Very easy. Abortion, stem cell research, harder to come to an agreement on. But these Christians, they say, oh no, all the answers are in the Bible, the good book. And so we just, that's it. We don't have to think for ourselves. We just have to look in the book and that tells us what's right or wrong. No, that's bullshit. There is no such thing as right or wrong. Killing another human being, actually, is not wrong. Stealing is not wrong, and rape is not wrong. From a universal point of view, they are wrong in our minds, in our logic. We take advantage of this planet so much. We plunder the land, we harvest resources, we do it all for the best interest to us. But since they are in the best interest to us, that is acceptable, because we are the ones who are making the judgment calls. If you think about it, like take a virus, for example. A virus makes us sick, just like the cold that I have right now. But is the cold virus evil? Is it doing something wrong? Well, no. It's just trying to survive. It's trying to reproduce and exist. That's all it wants. But in order for it to exist, it has to extract resources, energy, from something else, and by doing that, it makes it suffer. So it is exploiting resources for its own benefit, and by doing so, it's making something else, in this case, a human being, suffer. But it's not evil. So what are we doing? What are humans doing on this planet? We are extracting resources. We are making everything else suffer on this planet for our own benefit. But it is acceptable because it's for our benefit. We are the ones who are making the judgment call. The planet's not making the judgment call. The cattle which we're eating in our hamburgers is not making the judgment call. The sheep is not making the judgment call. No. The humans are the ones who are making the judgment call. They're the ones in power. And that's this other concept. Whoever is in power also gets to decide what's right or wrong. They can make the rules and then force everyone to obey them. That's another way of how we decide right from wrong. Whoever is in a control entity, in this case the United States government, they get to decide what's right or wrong, and they can enforce it using a credible threat. We don't dare disobey the laws because we might get punished. And what can we do? We are just individuals. We can't stand up against this credible threat. The police are going to come and kill us or throw us in prison if I violate this law. So therefore, I'll obey it because I'm afraid of getting punished. It's a credible threat. The second if someone like Superman, okay, and I'm not talking about the Superman Clark Kent. I'm talking about like some guy who gained incredible power in the real world. Realistically, he would become a tyrant or a dictator of some kind and just start enforcing his own rule of law. Whatever he says is right or wrong, because he has a credible threat. He can just say, hey, you don't obey my laws, then I'm going to kill you. I'm going to enforce my laws by making you do what I want you to do. And I have a credible threat to back that up. So therefore, we have to obey his laws, otherwise we all die. That's how, if Superman really was real, that's how it would work. So, right or wrong? Does that prove that God exists? No. We are able to come to a consensus on certain things. That's how we decide right from wrong. And those in power dictate to us the laws, and we have to obey those laws, or we get punished for them. However, they have to be able to control the people. If they can't control the people, then maybe they have to change the laws. Because there are some things people will accept, and other things that they won't accept. It's just a matter of, is this law worth breaking? Is the consequences worth it? And in many cases, it is. And so the laws have to change then. That's how we are able to sculpt our laws and our ethics. By weighing the consequences. Is this worth my life? It's interesting to think. It's an interesting concept to think about when we look at our own laws and our own ethics and values, and we wonder to ourselves, what's this law worth? Is it worth violating? And are the consequences worth worth breaking the law for? Think about it.